is literally just midnight on what is now Tuesday the 16th, I think, of January. I've got no makeup on except for, well, it's hardly any mascara, it's like right at the roots, isn't it? And I have actually got something on. I did videos earlier, and then I put that thing in the oven and I cooked it, and in my head I thought I'll turn the oven off when it's cooked and everything will be fine. Now it would appear that the heat stayed in the oven and it burnt and melted all the plastic around it. So when I went to get it out like an hour or two later, it was just like cremated. I think I'm going to have to put a filter on this because I don't look good. Probably help you like add better lighting in here or something. Ooh, shadow. So I don't know what time this happened. I think it was after 6 or something. It wasn't a massively long time after I finished my videos, maybe like half an hour. So I was just sat in my living room, and then I heard a van door slam shut outside my house, and I thought, that's not my neighbour, that sounds like a police van. And I'm like, why would the police be here? Like, I couldn't understand. Then I heard like two men talking loudly outside my house, and then I heard police radios. So I'm just sat there like, oh my god, what's going on? Why are they at my house? And then bang, bang, bang on the door. But it wasn't like the normal bang, 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 because I think they've been told not to do that because it stresses me out. Then they were trying to get in the house, and then they knocked again, and I'm like, oh my god. And I went to the door with my dog because I never ever answer my door. And even though I knew it was the police and obviously I'm safe, I just was like, what's going on? I was like so confused, and said, we need to speak to you, can you put your dog in another room? So I just put her in the kitchen, and I was like, because I didn't know what was going on, and they're like, you set your panic alarm off, and I'm like, I haven't. And then it clicked in my head because maybe 10-15 minutes before like they came to the door or turned up, I was on the phone to my dad, and he had rung the alarm company because the panic alarm that I take outside the house has been playing up for quite a while, and it's been really stressful for me because I don't feel safe outside the house without it, basically. And the battery kept dying quickly on it, and like I used to be able to like not have it on charge for a couple of days, which I wouldn't recommend, because if you forget and you need it and it's dead, like it's not a good situation to be in. But it got to the point where like after a couple of hours it was like doing this warning sound that the battery's getting low, and I'm thinking I can't permanently have it plugged in. And then for the last week and a half, like it's just constantly turning itself off, like you don't know when it's going to turn itself off. And because it's not the easiest or quickest thing to turn on, if someone attacks you, you're not going to have time to turn it on, basically. So my dad said he'll ring the alarm company, because I sometimes find them very stressful, because they get you to basically set the alarm off, and I'm always convinced the police are going to turn up, so I'm always very reluctant to do it. So he was at the office, and I'd just left there like not long before, because I come home and did those videos. I hadn't got changed, but I'd been upstairs, I think, and I just sat down, and I think I was eating a sandwich or something, and that's when I spoke to him. And the alarm company had told him to go outside because obviously it won't work inside because it's the outside one, and press it, and they said, oh right, yeah, it's not working. And they got him to go through everything, and they went, well, we'll change it tomorrow, which is now technically today, so at some point today it will get changed. And he said they've just told me to go outside one more time and press it, and if they get a signal they're gonna turn it off. So basically they didn't stop it, and it went through to the police, but because there was no signal, they just got this thing saying it had been set off, but they couldn't, it wasn't giving my location because obviously he'd gone inside. Eventually they had decided to come to my house, which, you know, was a good thing they did that, because they didn't know where it had been set off, but there was no signal, and they knew I couldn't have done it in the house. So I was like, I told them, like, my dad had it, and he's like, where is his office? And I told them, and they had to get straight onto the radio because they said like lots of other people were on the way because it came through as an urgent whatever he said. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm sorry, like, I didn't know. And I was like, just there thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna get like in trouble because it's my alarm, but I don't have it. But luckily they were really nice and understanding, and then like these other units were turning up, and I'm like, and he's like, right, everything's sorted, you can go inside. And I'm like, what's the catch? Like, I was just like, and I came in and they were outside for quite a while, like not super long time, maybe 5 minutes, but I was just like, and this is what makes me like, every time there's been a problem with my alarm, because I think this is like the 5th or 6th one I've had, the alarm company don't like to accept there's something wrong. I remember when there was something wrong with one of them last summertime. I'm not sure of the date because I've had several, as I said, and I was on the phone to them and they were like, there's nothing wrong with it, we're getting a signal. And I went, but it's not working, like it's not got, because there's 3 lights on it, there's normally a battery light, another light, and then the light that tells me if it's working. If it's working, it flashes green. If it doesn't, it flashes red. So obviously inside, the majority of the time it flashes red. Now and then it will get a green light on it, but only for a very, very small time. So I was like, the green light's never on it, and they're like, well, we're picking it up. And I'm like, but it's not working, it's switching itself off. And I'm like, you know, it needs to be replaced. Oh no, it's fine. So this carried on, and then my dad rung him, and they're like, it's fine when you pressed it, it's working. He's like, well, it does switch itself off, and the battery's not lasting, and eventually they do come and change it. But these units are rubbish. Like, I've been like really stressed out for weeks because I'll be sat at work and then the battery's dying because it sounds like this really loud noise. It's a warning sound. And normally it warns you about an hour before it dies. And there's some days I've took it off charge like half an hour earlier, sat down at work, and then it's sending that off. And I'm like, what am I meant to do? So my dad's like, today, he's like, I'm going to get it sorted for you because you're stressed out and it is switching itself off. Like, I was out with him and I was like, let me just check my panic alarm, and it was switched off. And I'm like, I had this on, and he's like, I saw you put it on because it weren't on at home. And I said, well, it was on at home, but it turned itself off. So today, because I'm like, you know, I'm having to go back to work tomorrow and stuff, and I'm going to be at the house and I don't feel comfortable, he's like, I'm going to ring up for you today. So he took it with him so he could, like, because they always get you to press certain things on it and tell them what you can see, what lights are on and stuff. And they always get you to set it off. And this has always been the thing that I've said, I'm convinced it's going to get the police here. I remember when, I think I was like week 1 or 2 at my, where I work now, and the alarm company rung me, and I'm like, why are they ringing me, like, what's going on? And they're like, because they test the alarms, they send signals to both of them, and they sent one to the house one and they weren't getting anything back, and they said they sent another one and they were getting nothing back. They needed me to go home and like tell them what's on the screen and everything, and I said I can't until I finish work, and they went, that's fine. So I went home and they got me to set it off, and I was like, I don't want to set it off because the police will come and there's nothing wrong. And they're like, oh no, as soon as you press it and it shows on our system, we will turn it off. And I'm like, what if I press it, it doesn't show? They said, well, we'll still reset it so it doesn't go through to the police. But I'm always scared to do it, and tonight's proved why. And it weren't me that did it. And like, my dad and I was like, it's a good job I was at home, because if I wouldn't have been, they potentially would have put the front door through, even if my car had been outside, because obviously, if my alarm goes off, there's a reason why. Well, there should be a reason why. It shouldn't be the alarm company getting people to press it to see if it'll work. So they would have to do it, but that front door would cost £1,200 and I wouldn't be happy coming home. But I could understand why they would do it, because obviously if they think I'm in danger, they're going to try and find me. But I wasn't. I was lucky, I was actually at home. But obviously their intelligence would tell them that at that sort of time, typically I would be at home. Not always, but I'd say 8 times out of 10 I would be. So, and I'm just glad I didn't have earphones in, because I wouldn't have had earphones in and just heard the knocking. I potentially wouldn't have answered the door until they started pounding. And that would have made the situation worse for me in my head. So luckily, I had actually been listening to music and I just took them out. Luckily. So that was stressful. And now it's like midnight and I've got to go to work tomorrow. Well, today. It's probably after midnight now, because it was bang on midnight when I started talking and this is 11 minutes in. But I just wanted to like know what had happened to me tonight, because when like you sat there and you hit, I knew it was a police van. I just knew. And like no one parks outside my house. The only door that I hear shutting is next doors. They've got 2 cars on the drive, but that's a lot quieter and it's a lot nearer the sound. But that was like literally at the front of my house, and I could tell, and I could hear these 2 men talking, and I'm like, it's the police, like what's going on? And I'm thinking, I've not even done anything, I don't understand what's going on. So I think because I'd had some of my medication, I was quite chilled out, but it was still scary. But I'm glad that I'd had my medication, because I was a bit more relaxed than normal. Normally I'd probably, but I think probably the look on my face said to them like I don't have a clue what's going on. But I did say to one of them, like, do you want to come in and like check or whatever I said, but I did say you can come in if you want. But I think they believed that I was okay. But I was just like, so thank you, alarm company, for doing that to me. But at least it shows that the police do come if you, like, you set your alarm off. But it did take them 20 minutes, but I can't complain at that, because the fact that the signal was lost and all they knew is what I'd set it off and they know where I live, that's all they had to go off. But a lot of police got dispatched here, because from what I saw, there was like, they came in the van, then a car pulled up and then another vehicle pulled up. So I'm like, oh god, my neighbours are going to think, what the hell? Luckily they went pretty fast, but still the neighbours are probably like, what's this girl doing? She's been taken away in ambulances and police are turning up. But people, like, even the police said to me, like, one night, one of them said, you care too much about what people think. You shouldn't care what they think, because they don't have a clue what's going on. So, and I know that's true, but I probably would think things like, if my neighbours had the police outside, I'd probably wonder what were going on. But I don't think I would ever guess. I wouldn't sit there thinking, oh, like, has this happened? I'd just wonder why. But, yeah, and I'm avoiding sleep, obviously, because I know when I wake up, I've got to get my tired body into the shower and put makeup on and go somewhere that's making me feel really shit. Anyone want my job?